Hey guys, this is Eve with Scrapbooking with Me, and this is what we're going to make today. I promised you a container to go with the mini album that we made last week on Friday or Saturday. It may have been Saturday. So I promised you a little container to go with that. So there's our mini album, and there's our little container. Then here's a journaling book you can put in there. In this front part, you can put glasses, remote, pens, whatever you want. So that is what we're going to make. I've got some embellishments on the side, on the front, and then on this side. It's made out of thick chipboard, so it won't be going anywhere. And Melina wants one of these for every season. So here's her fall. Then I'll have to work on her Christmas one. So we will get those done, I'm sure, soon. Okay, let's get into the project. Alright, so we're going to start out with some chipboard. And I've got the sizes marked on all these. I've taken pictures of them, and so you will be able to see all of that, how they're laid out and everything, at the link below that says blog instructions, something to that effect. But they're on my blog. And now what I've done, I have come in 2 inches from here, and this is just on one of the long sides, 2 inches, made me a mark, and then I come up from, we're going to call this the bottom, up 3 inches and made a mark. So this one is 3 up, and this one is 2 from there. And then I joined that mark and this one, and I'm going to cut that off. Now, this is a guillotine cutter, and it's from Swingline, and if you do not have one of these, you do not know what you're missing if you fool with chipboard as much as I do. This is the best trimmer I have found yet. Alright, I'm going to lay that in there just like that, and then I'm going to cut that off. Sorry about the noise. I have to put a little bit of extra strength in there when I'm sitting down. When I'm standing up, it goes really smooth, but when I'm sitting down, it doesn't. So I'm just putting that line on there, and then I'm going to cut it like that. So see how quick it cuts? Plus, I like it because it has a lock right here that I can lock that blade in, so it doesn't come up and my little grandbabies won't get into it. So I like that part of it. I'll link it below if you want to take a look at it. I love it. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is these are going to be their side pieces that are going to come up just like that. So we're going to put one there, one there. That's all the cutting on that part we have to do once you get all your chipboard pieces cut. Then this is going to be the back. And this is going to be hard for you to see until I get everything started putting together. And then this one will be our front. And then we just have a little divider, and we'll work on that in a minute. So let's go ahead and start putting our construction strips on here. Now, I have showed many times how to make construction strips, but I always have somebody that says, I don't know how to make those, show me how. So all I done, I'm going to use the dark brown cardstock as my trim around. So I'm going to go ahead and put the dark brown cardstock like this. It's going to save me a lot of paper, and it's going to look like I've got paper, dark paper, all the way up under my mats. So what I did was I cut 1 inch, and this is 12 inches, and then I score down the center at 1/2 inch. Then all you want to do is take your, where is my score tape? Take your score tape, and yes, it is better to use score tape on these because it just holds so much better. And I don't use, when I'm putting something like this together, I don't use a cheap score tape. I use the real thing. This Suquane score tape is all I carry, and it's the best. I've got many albums and boxes and things I put together many years ago that are still holding up because of this score tape. It is not all made equal, I want to tell you that. This will be linked below too if you want to check it out. So what I did is I put score tape on each side of that 1/2 inch score line. So when these are folded up, ready to go on, they look like that. Alright, so that is easy as it can be. And I go ahead when I'm making, and I make up a bunch, and then I have a little thing that I store them in. Then when I get ready to do a project like this, I've got my construction strips made. I've got a lot in different colors, black and tan and brown, all different colors. It's just an easy way to make you a underneath mat without having to use a lot of extra paper. Now I'm going to mark this right there. Of course, I could put it back in my trimmer and trim them off, but I'd rather just do this. So I know I need 2 that are this length because I marked from here to here, which is 9.5 inches. And then we're going to cut 2 this length. Okay. So there's our 2 for both sides. Now I need one where the back joins right here. I need one that is just that length. So that's going to be 6 inches. Instead of measuring it, I just do it with my finger. Put it up there. That's my measuring. So that's got our 6 inches right there. So we got one for this side, one for that side, one for there. Now we need one on each side of this, and that again is going to be 6 inches. So there's this one right there for that. Make sure that's about right. It's a little bit long, so we'll trim it just a tiny bit. There we go. And then I need another one for over here. That's when you start bringing up the sides and putting this little container together. I'm not going to call it a box because it doesn't have a lid. It's a container. It's something that Melina's been wanting to set on her table, her nightstand table, so that she can put her glasses in there and her books, her journals, that kind of thing, so that she can work on them at night when she lays down, and then she'll have a place to just put them back up. Alright, now what we're going to do, move this up so you can see. I want to make one for down here. This will attach the front. So there we go with that. And then I need to make 2 for either end of this, and let's see if these are big enough. Not quite, so we'll cut another one. So we got right there. They don't have to be exactly perfect, but the closer they are to being straight and even, the better. You won't have any gaps in your mini album, the better it'll come together. So that looks good. And that looks good. Okay. So that should be our construction strips. And you see I have extras, so I'll put these in my little packet that I've got. Save those up. I'll lay these over here. I'm going to go ahead and put the construction strips on the sides. Okay, so let's grab one of our long ones for the side. And then you're going to start right where it folds. See, it folds right here. Right where it folds, and you're just going to cut a little bit of an angle there. And that makes that kind of a little bit of a point. This is to keep out the bulk in each of the corners, because you don't want a lot of bulk there where the chipboard doesn't come together. So just do that on all of your construction strips. Just a little tiny sliver going from the fold downward. See, that's all that we cut right there. So we'll cut the other ones as we go. Let's go ahead and put this one down. Now, I just take the score tape off of one side at a time. My fold out toward me, out to the outside of the chipboard. And put the fold right up at the end of the chipboard. See, like that? Right up at the end of the chipboard. And then I use my bone folder and always press that down good. That way I know that it's caught well and it will not come up. Okay, we'll do this on the other side. Remember, the fold goes to the outside of the chipboard. Just like that. Then we will put one of these on the back. Again, I'm just going to cut that little bit of a sliver at an angle there. Just a little notch in it. Now check it to make sure that I'm still okay with it. Then you're just going to peel off that one side. bring it up to the end and right there all the way across. I'm telling you, I've said this so many times, I know I say it probably every time that I make a 3D project, but I think I could probably build a house with construction strips. I don't know how long it'd hold up in a heavy wind, but I think it would be fun to try it, don't you? Okay, we're going to put V1 on the other end. Just like that. So all pieces of your bottom now have construction strips on there, and that's what we want because that's going to make that glue just like that. And now we need to put it on two sides of this, just two sides. You don't have to put it on the top because we're not going to make a top for this box. It's going to be a container and not necessarily a box. Alright, so there is one side of our back. Now we need to do the other. Always make sure that your fold line or your score line is out like that. See, my score line is right even with my chipboard. That's what you want. So there's that. That's going to go up like that. These are going to glue to this side and that side. So we need to put a construction strip here and one here. So we want to be able to bring those pieces up together. Cut a little tiny bit of an angle off of it. Just like that. If you have a tiny bit hanging over there, just go ahead and cut that off. Just like that. Okay, there's our sides. There's that. And the back. So the back will come up like this. These sides will go up, glue there and there, and then that will go up on that side. So now we need our front panel, which is going to go just like this. So you see those are going to glue onto that front panel just like that. So let's start putting these together, and I'll try my best to put them together where you can see what's going on. And I may have to turn them a little bit so that I can see. So this is my back, this is the bottom. So I'm going to match them up as best I can. Let's see. And I'm butting them up against each other, and then I'm going to press that down. Okay, so there your back comes up just like that. Now we're going to do the sides. Once you get your measurements on your boxes and containers, it's all just a matter of putting things together then. So I'm butting it right up against there, and I'm going to press that side down. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And if you don't have access to chipboard, or if you're out of the country and it's harder for you to get chipboard, you can use cereal boxes. You can double a couple of them up so that it'll be nice and strong. Just glue pieces together. I used to use cereal boxes all the time before I started selling chipboard too. Alright, there's our front, our back, our sides. So they're going to come up like this. I'm going to try to turn it this way so you can see. So I'm going to hold that front up, put that in there. I am going to match that front up as best I can right there, like that. And then I'm going to glue that piece on the inside. See what I'm talking about? And you're saying, you're gluing all this on the inside, and you said that you was going to have some brown mats on the outside. I am. I'm going to put more construction strips on the outside. What that does, it just helps this be really, really strong. So I'll run me some more down through here. Alright, see that? There's one corner. And I'm going to go over it with my bone folder. Then we're going to do this corner. And I hope you guys like, I have had lots of people that said that they love 3D projects, so I hope that you like them. I love making them. We have a big surprise coming up in our, let's see, it'll be our November kit, I do believe. So you've got to stay tuned for that one. And if you're not a member of the, if you're not a member of the E-Club kit, make sure that you either join, or you can do a one-time purchase if you want. If we have any left over each month, we put them out as a one-time purchase, because if you get the kit, you're going to have access to a wonderful PDF project for Christmas. Okay, put that up just like that. See, I'm just matching that corner up. Going to flip it over and press those down. Going to take the backing off of this one. I think I already have. Yes, I have. I'm going to match that one up. Press it down with my bone folder. And there's the beginning of our container. You see we have that angle here. Now we do need to put a divider down in there. This is our divider. It is cut by, it's 6 by 3.5. Okay, now to get my divider where I want it, I'm going to take my ruler, start right down here at the bottom, and I'm going to mark up 2.5 inches. Just make a mark right there. I'm going to do the same thing over here. 2.5 will be right there. Okay, we need to put some construction strips on this divider. Okay, so we want one on both sides. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That way it doesn't slide back and forth, and it'll anchor it down really well on the inside. And see, that's going to sit on the bottom to make it stand up like that. And then we need 2 on each side. And then these are going to stick to the sides to keep this from moving anywhere. So it's going to go down in there just like that. And then we'll just press all those down on the sides. But before we do, we want to go ahead and cover all of the inside with paper. Alright, for our mats, I'm going to use this paper. And this is the paper collection. Let me see if I can find the top cover. This is the one that, a new one that we have in stock by Echo Park. And it's called My Favorite Fall. I love this paper. So we're going to put this one in the bottom. Now what I did is the bottom is 6 by 9.5. So what I did is I cut this just the tiniest bit shy of 6 by 9.5. So I went to the 9.5 and just pulled it back just a little bit because I wanted this to have a good full coverage. It's like a 1/16 of an inch short of the size of the bottom. Just a tiny bit. And I'm going to put quite a bit of glue on here because I want this to stick well. Not buckle on me, not have any wrinkles, things like that. Okay. And then we're just going to lay this down in there. I'm not going to ink these because they're going to be on the inside. Most of it will be covered. So we're just going to put these down. See, that makes it fit perfectly if you cut it that size. And now we have the sides, and I cut it out of this orange because I didn't really have any more of that. So I cut it out of this orange. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide these down in there all the way. And then I'm just going to lay it over like this, and I'm going to mark this spot to trim because I don't want to trust my measuring on this, and this just makes it a little bit easier. So I'm just holding it up there against it, just making a little pencil mark all the way down. There we go. When I get that one cut, or this one cut, I can go ahead and use it for the other side, hopefully. We'll see in just a minute. I'm going to put this back in my trimmer, and I'm going to trim it just like that. There we go. You see that? Made it cut off perfectly. And I'm going to make sure that it's going to fit this side too before I... Yep, it's going to fit that side too. Alright, I know you can't see this, but I'm just making sure that it's all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to use my bone folder. Spread all of that out. Alright, we're putting the other side in there. Pushing it all the way down to the bottom. There we go. Make sure you spread that glue out evenly so it'll stay glued together. Alrighty. Now we're ready for the back. The back is, the chipboard is 6 by 6, so we cut this just shy of 6 by 6. I left just a little bit, and I'm going to make sure it fits before I glue. Looks good. Let's put some glue on here. Slide that piece down in there like that. Take your bone folder, press it down really, really well. So there you have the back. Isn't that cute? I like that already. Okay, so I'm beginning to like fall colors. Then we're going to put this piece in the front. Now the front is 3 by 6, so we're going to make sure that we cut it a little bit shy of 3 and a little bit shy of 6. I'm just going to make sure it's not going to show on the outside here. So there's the inside all covered. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take my vintage photo, and on the edge of this chipboard, I'm just going to stain it really dark, just in case any of it shows. That way it'll look like paper and not like just raw chipboard. Just doing it right on the edges, because what I'm going to do with a construction strip is I'm going to cap it right down over that chipboard. So what you want to do here is run it from one end to the other. Don't cut out any notches, and run it right up to the edge like that. Then we're just going to take that and roll it over the edge and glue it down. That way we can put our mat on here, and we've got all the chipboard covered. Now we're going to go ahead and cover this piece before we attach it inside here, just because it's a little bit easier to do. And I have got a piece cut here that is, it's just a piece of the paper that's cut at 5 3/4 by 7 1/8. And I have inked around the edges with carved pumpkin. So we're going to glue this down on this side right here, and then we'll fold it over the top and glue it back down on there. So that will make us a little cover, mat cover for both sides, and keep any chipboard from showing. Now I want my owls, or her owls. You know I don't like owls. I want her owls to be up on the front side, so we're going to call this the front. And I know I'm getting glue all over my table. There we go. And then I'm just going to roll it over and press it down to the back side. I may go a little bit overboard on glue sometimes, but I don't have projects that fall apart. I'd rather put too much is not enough. Alright, I'm just taking my bone folder and going over that really well to disperse that glue out. And then we're just going to take the flat side of the bone folder and go across the top to flatten that back out. Now we're ready to put our divider down in here. And I'm just going to dry fit it first. Alright, let's take the backing off of the score tape. And I'm probably going to put a little bit of art glitter glue on the score tape just so that I can move it around a little bit. So if you just cover your score tape with your art glitter glue, then you'll be able to move it just a little before it sets. I'm going to fold these up, slide them down in there. I'm going to get glue all over me and everything else. That gives me just a little bit of wiggle room. Let me look at it. Okay, then before we press it down, we're just going to put our ruler up here. 2.5, 2.5, and 2.5. Looks like we're pretty good. Alright. Now we're ready to press it down. I'll hold it on here and see. Yep, it looks pretty straight. Pretty straight. Alright, press the sides down. Okay, so we've got our divider in there and it's not going anywhere. Nice and sturdy. Now we need to put our construction strips on the outside, and they will go over just like that. When you cut these, don't cut the end at an angle. Cut it straight and make sure it goes from one end of the chipboard to the other. This will keep the chipboard from showing. But just to ensure that we don't have any raw edges of this chipboard showing, I'm going to go in and darken the edges. Just at the ends. Okay, there we go. Got all the corners darkened. Now I'm going to put an extra little bit of glue on the edge of these because I used 1/4 inch score tape and I don't want any of that edge sticking up since our mat's going to lay on it. Do the same thing here. And sharpen your corners back out. So you're going to do that to all of the edges except the top. Don't do anything up here. We're going to cover that with something else. Alright, we are ready to put our mats on the outside. And I'll tell you the sizes of these mats as I go through. This one is cut at 2 3/4 by 5 3/4, and that goes on the front. And don't worry about this chipboard up here. We're going to cover that. We're going to put our mats on first, and you're going to have just about, looks like, let's see, about 1/4 inch maybe. Let's see, not quite 1/4, about 1/8 inch all the way around. And see, you've got your brown paper showing here. Okay, and we'll flip it over to the back. This piece is cut at 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. I'm going to put it down just like that. And we're going to cover the bottom, and this is the same paper collection. This one is cut at 5 3/4 by 9 1/4. So we're going to put this down. Alright, there's the bottom. And now we're going to put the sides on. And I'm kind of running in that same, like it is in the owl, that teal and orange is what I'm running around, because her house, she's got teal in it, and then the orange for, of course, fall. Alright, so we're going to put that down there. Okay, so I'm going to lay this on here, flip it over like this, try not to let it move, and then I'm going to draw my angle. It's just easier than going back and measuring every time. And y'all know that I don't like to measure. I do enough of that in a day's time. We need to put this up against this one, making sure that we've got it just opposite. And I do. Alright, we'll put these down, and then I'll show you what we're going to do to the top to keep the chipboard from showing. So all we're doing now is taking some construction strips and we're capping them over the top like that to make a border around this. And I'm just trying to see that I'm keeping it pretty straight. This just closes off the top of that chipboard and then just helps the look of it too. Now on this side piece, I had to try one before I come on here and told y'all how to do it, because I have not done one of these before. This is my first. You are seeing it for the first time as I'm putting it together. So since we have this curve right here, when we curve down, there's going to be a little bit of a bulk right there. So what I'm doing is I'm marking that with my fingers, and then I just take my scissors and I'm just going to snip up just a little bit where I marked that, a little bit on both sides, and I'll put that back down, and then see, it will lay even then. And then we're going to go all the way down with it to the corner. So let me make sure I'm cutting that corner at the right place. Looks about right there. Alright, so let's pull the backing off and give this a shot. I'm going to stick it along the outside first, just so that I can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay, then we'll pull the backing off of that one and we'll go across. And then right here, we're going to go across and just kind of fold it over that piece right there, if you can see. And then just keep going all the way down with it. Okay, so all we like now is just to put a piece across the back and then fold it over. Grab that bone folder again, press it down really well, and then go across the top to flatten that top out. And there you go. That is your box. Quick and easy. Very, very simple. But we're going to put a few embellishments on here. I think I'll put this cute little bicycle with pumpkins and flowers on it, or in it, on the front. But I'm going to ink up around the edges, and then it really doesn't show that well on the front, so we're going to put him right there. Okay, and I have a couple of branches that are just, they've been cut out in a bag. I haven't used them. I don't know when I cut them out, but I'm going to use those on the side. Then I'm just going to stick the other one up like that. And then I'm just going to sit this owl on there. That's not exactly a tree, but it'll pass for one. That owl's going to sit on there. I need something to put right down here at the bottom. What can we put there? We'll just put a piece of orange bling there to cover that up. I think I'll have to glue him down a little bit. Now I'm going to flip it up here, and I'm going to put this coffee cup on the front because she loves her frou-frou coffee, as I call it. So this is a nice chipboard piece. I just inked it up, and I think I'll put it right there. But then I need something else to go on this other side. Okay, here's a little piece that we can put right there. It's got more of the orange on it, so it will show up better on the front. We'll put that coffee cup right there. I think we'll put this one right here. It says Autumn, Fall, Harvest, blessings. We'll put that down right there. Then I'm going to put this little wagon with the tractor down. Oh, and I forgot to ink around him. And I don't think I can pull him back up. Let's see. Be real careful, I might. Oh, pull my paper just a little bit, but I'm going to cover it right back up. So, and then up here at the top, we'll just put this little banner that just says fall is in the air, and then we'll put a couple of pieces of bling on there. Okay, and I think that's all we're going to do to it. If she wants to put any more embellishments on it, she can, but I think that's going to be plenty right there. Alright, so let's grab our little album that we made. And there we go. Sits down there nicely. You can also put, this is one of those journaling books. You can put one of those in there. Stick your glasses, remote, pens, whatever right here. So then you've got a nice little container for the side of your bed, your end table, whatever. Alright guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And all of these measurements and photos, everything will be over on our blog. That link will be directly below. And we will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.